आएगा। जैसे कहानी में है ना, अपना टाइम आएगा, ये पहाड़ भी कह रहा है अपना टाइम आएगा, ये नेचर भी कह रहा है कि अपना टाइम आएगा जब आप बेबस होके सीखोगे। चॉइस आपका है, आप बेबस होके सीखना चाहते हो या अभी सीखना चाहते हो। चलेंगे हायल में। We have just reached HIAL. It is an university, again, a product of Sonam Wangchuk. It's Himalayan Institute of Alternative Ladakh. Basically, the idea is to create sustainable mountain living. आपको ये चीज़ समझना पड़ेगा, पहाड़ जितना सुंदर और शांत दिखता है, अंदर ही अंदर उसका अलग एक तेज़ भी है। आप पहाड़ को जितना ही चेतावनी दोगे उतना ही दुगना उसका रिस्पॉन्स होगा, आज नहीं तो कल। और इसको जितना जल्द ह्यूमन लाइव्स एंड ह्यूमन सिविलाइजेशन समझ जाए उतना ही बेहतर होगा हम सब के लिए। सो दिस एंटायर place is an university.
Yes, this is a building university as of now. We call it Himalayan Institute of Alternatives Ladakh. HIAL caters to students after they graduate, they complete their schooling, or even if they don't complete their schooling, what would they do after? You know, they grow up, what could they take up as jobs or work or become an entrepreneur? So at HIAL we focus on finding solution for mountain problems, that too locally.
Okay.
Yep.
So these are all buildings, and you were I was told the buildings are little differently made and special.
Yes. All these buildings that you see at HIAL are made out of passive solar material, which is earth, and they are insulated in such a way that even in the peak of winters here in Ladakh, when the outside temperature is -15, -20, these buildings inside never dip down below 18 degrees Celsius. There is no fossil fuel that is burnt, no bukhari, no fire, no electric heater, nothing. Just by the energy of sun, these buildings during the day absorb as much as heat they can, and during the night, just because how they are constructed, do not let the heat escape out of the building.
Very interesting. So basically आप अगर इस पहाड़ में कंक्रीट कंस्ट्रक्शन करेंगे तो उसका अलग असर होगा.
Yes, because concrete actually सबसे बड़ा absorbent है. अगर बाहर हीट होगी, कंक्रीट हीट अब्जॉर्ब करके अंदर फेंकेगा. अगर बाहर ठंड होगी, कंक्रीट ठंड अब्जॉर्ब करके अंदर फेंकेगा. People often say that concrete is a stronger material, but if you are to see history, all the older palaces, monasteries, all the forts in the world, they are not made of concrete, they are made of earthen material. यहाँ देखिए इन पहाड़ों पे कंक्रीट मिलता नहीं है, आप कंक्रीट नीचे से लेके आते हैं. पहली चीज़ एम्बेडेड एनर्जी उस कंक्रीट को अपने रॉ फॉर्म से सीमेंट बैग में भरने की, फिर उसको ट्रांसपोर्ट करवा के यहाँ पे लेके आने की, उसके बाद उस मटेरियल से यहाँ घर बनाने की. और वो घर जो सर्दियों में नॉर्मल पुराने 200 साल पुराने घरों से भी बहुत ठंडे रहते हैं. फिर उन घरों को हीटअप करने के लिए आप एनर्जी यूटिलाइज करते हैं, लकड़ी जलाते हैं, लूट जलाते हैं, इलेक्ट्रिसिटी यूज़ करते हैं. वो एनर्जी अगर आप देखें, एंड वी ऑफन टॉक अबाउट ग्लोबल वार्मिंग, इफ़ आई एम टू बर्न अ फायर इन माई हाउस राइट हियर फॉर वार्मथ, where do you think the smoke will go? It will go directly on my glaciers as the first thing. So to avoid all of that, we have made these kind of buildings. So a couple of features of all these buildings that you will see, that on the south side, it is all glass. All the buildings. Reason being, हम northern hemisphere में रहते हैं अर्थ में, तो sun हमेशा हमारे south में होता है, इसलिए southern hemisphere, southern side पे हमेशा आपको glass facade दिखेंगे. And these are not just usual glasses, these are double glazed glasses.
अच्छा, एक तरफ ग्लास इस तरफ है और दूसरा ग्लास उस तरफ भी है.
जी, आप देखेंगे तो आधा सेंटीमीटर छोड़ के ग्लास है. इसका रीज़न ये है कि इसके बीच में जो खाली एनुलर जगह है ना, ये एज ए वैक्यूम काम करती है.
अच्छा.
And we know for a fact that vacuum is the best insulator, क्योंकि it lets nothing pass through it. So during the day, all the sunlight comes through these glasses, and inside you see there is a black wall, right? This black wall is called trombe wall. Now trombe wall.
ये the black wall, हाँ.
Here's the one inside.
हाँ.
You can see it more clearly over this side. So these trombe walls,
अच्छा.
they absorb heat. Now you can feel it. Why don't you touch the trombe wall?
Okay, let me just see.
In very basic science in school, we were told that black color absorbs the most heat.
Let me just touch it. Yeah.
So these walls are
गरम
made,
है ये.
yeah, these walls are specifically made out of a different material. These are made out of a block which has a water bottle inside. Now you may ask, why water bottle?
हाँ.
Two things. Number one, there's a lot of plastic waste in Ladakh.
हाँ.
PET bottles.
हाँ.
On an average day of peak tourism, about 30,000 PET bottles are thrown every day. How do you reutilize them, right? So we bring that bottles, we make a block, put the bottles in between, put water inside it, add a little salt, close the bottle down properly and finish the block. Now those blocks are stacked as storm walls. क्या आप ये
तो
storm
पानी
wall-
अंदर ही रहता है, इवेपोरेट तो होता नहीं
पानी
है.
इवेपोरेट नहीं होगा. पानी एक ब्यूटीफुल चीज़ क्या करता है, दिन के टाइम पे धूप से हीट अब्जॉर्ब करता है.
हाँ.
और रात के टाइम पे अब जैसे दिन में यहाँ से धूप आई,
हाँ.
ये डबल ग्लेज वॉल्स ने
हाँ.
धूप आने तो दी,
हाँ.
लेकिन ये डबल ग्लेज वॉल का प्रॉपर फंक्शन क्या होता है कि रात के टाइम पे ये हीट वापस जाने नहीं देती, क्योंकि ये डबल ग्लेजिंग के बीच में जो जगह है that acts as a vacuum. So all the heat that is absorbed during the day is dissipated only inside the building during the night.
आप बेसिकली जब जूता खोल के पैर ज़मीन पे रखते हो ना, तब आपको ठंड महसूस होता है. ओके, सो दिस इज द inside of what houses you call them?
Passive
solar houses. Passive solar houses, and they are made of wood.
Yes, these are the load bearing column. Amay, so I'll introduce quickly to you Amay. Amay works in
Hi.
the construction team.
Hi Amay, how are you doing?
I'm great.
If you have any questions about the architecture, civil work, construction techniques, he's the best one.
Where are you from, Amay?
I'm from Maharashtra, Nagpur, Central
Okay.
India.
And how long have you been living here?
I'm here since the past 6 months.
Huh.
Yes.
Past 6 months.
Yeah.
So you are suited in Ladakh.
Yeah.
Settled here.
Yeah.
ये घर अब बनाने में कितना समय लगा?
ये ऑलमोस्ट ये टाइप ऑफ इतना जो अगर हम स्पेस कैलकुलेट करते हैं तो इट टेक्स ऑलमोस्ट 6 months में.
और ये सारे वुड जो है ये लोकली प्रोक्योर्ड?
हाँ, लोकली प्रोक्योर्ड है. देयर आर वेरी डिफरेंट काइंड्स ऑफ, जैसे ये बुदलू यूज़ हुआ है. दिस इज़ रशियन पाइन वुड. और बाहर सफ़ेदा नाम का एक वुड होता है, वो यूज़ होता है. दिस बिल्डिंग इज़ मेड अप ऑफ रैम्ड अर्थ, लाइक रैमिंग द सॉइल कंटिन्यूसली टिल इट गेट्स हार्ड.
दिस इज स्मॉल काइंड ऑफ, आप अगर जाएंगे कोई हाई राइज बिल्डिंग में है तो उसका एक छोटा सा डेमो रहता है, उसी तरह इसमें भी एक डेमो बना के रखा है कि कैसे वो लोग बनाते हैं इसको, ये सारे घरों को कैसे बनाया जाता है.
As I was telling you, we make entrepreneurs here. People who are solar builders, now they are going to different places and local people are picking it up. There is one big challenge why it can't be picked up very massively is because the IBC, Indian Building Code, has no value for earthen construction basically. If your building is not cement made, doesn't have RCC column, load bearing structure, they don't induct that in Indian Building Code. That is what we are trying to change. One of the biggest thing is, if we have, for example, if you make a house in Bombay, if you make a house in Delhi or Kolkata, where you can make cement houses which are fine, which are great, all right, but the same may not apply to Ladakh, the same may not apply to Northeast, in fact may not apply to parts of West Bengal where you're coming from, right? Every place has their own techniques which have been evolved since centuries, if not millennia of people living there. If this idea is picked up, you can think about what scale of carbon footprint we'd be reducing, right? What kind of local employment and local ideas and skill development we are talking about. All this what Mr. Wangchuk is doing, if through all of this we can have something called LBC, Ladakh Building Code, which includes material like these which are known to stand the time, the
Test
sun
of
and
time.
test of time here in Ladakh. should be made for Ladakh. Yes, you are not just, taking care of carbon footprint, you are doing so many other things from it. As I was saying, a lot of cement comes into Ladakh and people build from cement. What do you do with the empty bags of cement? Usually they are thrown away or they are just discarded, and then the sun beats up on them and degrades them into, in fact, microplastics in this high of a place. So we use those bags filled up with these sand right under our feet and make these earth bag dome structure. So here you can see rammed earth like properly. You can have a look. So ये जो section है, ये usually जब डाला जाता है तो इसका 1.5 times होता है, इतना तकरीबन, और इसको फिर राम किया जाता है तो ये compact हो के इतना बन जाता है. And this structure is very, very strong. Like buildings, there are palaces in Ladakh like Saspol Khar, which has been standing for the last 1200 years plus, is made by this technique only.
Wow, looks so cute.
This entire structure is waste cement bags made.
Waste cement bags?
Yep. Please. Stuffed with the soil that you have right under your feet. So.
What is the procedure like? You stuff these cement bags?
Yeah, this empty cement bags which are thrown away are first procured from the dump or somewhere. Then we take the soil which is right outside our feet, fill the cement bag, place it horizontally, and then make a circle out of it. Ram the bag, and then place another bag. Ram it, another. And when you keep it in such a way that it will attain a conical shape on the top. And as we know, curvature domed shapes are one of the most load-bearing shapes in the world. And this is nothing, there's no actual cement used in it, just empty cement bags with soil and rammers, that's it. And this all finish is clay finish, local clay finish.
There is an important word to catch, it's called ram. And he tried showing the gesture also, you ram. Here's the effort is to ram an idea, establish it, get it institutionalized and more conventional a practice, and in order to make living out here much more sustainable.
As you can see, there is a couple of things which are very common in all solar passive buildings. One is the double glazed windows, second is storm wall, the third is a cavity in between. In this cavity basically, it is used as a space. Like in these double glazed windows, there was a cavity of 0.5 centimeter in between. Similarly, there is a cavity in between here. In here, you can put an insulative material. Now, insulative material could be anything. We often collect waste thermocol. Like there are thermocol boxes in which stuff comes from down. What happens to the boxes? Again, nothing. They are thrown away. They are degraded in the environment here. We get those boxes, shred the thermocol and fill it in the cavity as insulator. Similarly, we do plastic, shredded waste plastic inside it. And what we have found is the shredded plastic is not very far away from pashmina wool, wasted pashmina wool. The U value it is called, the insulator value. These are called straw clay blocks.
Straw clay blocks. Okay.
So as the name suggests, they are
made of straw.
Straw and clay. So if you see this block right here, the straw acts as a binding material, and this is the same straw that we get from Punjab and Haryana, which is otherwise burnt as parali during Diwali time and causes a lot of pollution in the northern part of India. So we get these straw bales compacted from down there to up here, and we mix it with local clay of Ladakh. And when you mix it and you frame blocks like these straw clay blocks are very strong. Second, they are very, very insulative. Like the insulation value of this block is more better than anything else as of now. And this particular one doesn't need a cavity in between as well. There's another very interesting building that is made here. This is also made out of straw clay only, but these are prefabricated straw clay blocks. We call them prefab basically. Now how that and this is different, one, you can see the size of the brick is very different.
It's huge.
It's huge, yeah. And second, you can see that there are columns coming out of it.
Iron
RCC.
columns.
Yeah, iron columns. So the dry stone masonry in both of them is same. Plinth is same. What different is there, if you can see here, from the plinth we get this metal rod out straight up top, and what the idea is, these blocks are like Lego blocks with which kids play.
Okay.
You can just take a block and insert it in the annular space, put a mixture with cement stabilization, that means 10-15% cement and rest earth. What it does is, it fits like a Lego block. Construction time is very, very faster than anything else. These beams coming up provide earthquake resistant force because it enables the building to move front and back.
Because it's hollow inside.
You fill the hollow thing. You can see it here.
Okay, you fill the hollow thing with cement.
With cement mixture.
Yeah, but because the rest of it is adjusted in such a way that if the earth shakes, it will shake but it won't fall.
Never.
And to hold them tight are these columns.
Yep. तो आपको ये चीज़ बहुत ध्यान से सोचनी पड़ेगी कि हर जगह के सॉल्यूशन हर जगह के हिसाब से हो सकते हैं. इसलिए मैंने पहले बोला था कि आप कट कॉपी पेस्ट बाकी जगह का हर जगह नहीं कर सकते. जैसे लद्दाख में ये सॉल्यूशंस जो आप देख रहे हैं ये एक्टिवली चलते हैं, ग्रेट. अगर मैं एग्जैक्ट सेम नॉर्थ ईस्ट में ले जाऊँ नहीं चल पाएगा, बारिश बहुत होती है.
बारिश बहुत धूप ही नहीं निकलता है.
धूप ही नहीं निकलती है. वहाँ मुझे थोड़ा चेंज करना पड़ेगा. जिस तरीके की बिल्डिंग्स आप यहाँ देख रहे हैं ना, हमने लद्दाख के अलग अलग जगह जैसे द्रास, कारगिल या रिजांगला हाई ऑल्टीट्यूड एरियाज 5000 प्लस पे भी बनाई हैं, जहाँ पे सर्दी में कई फुट बर्फ़ पड़ती है, और उनके लिए हमने अपने डिज़ाइंस को चेंज किया है. एज यू राइटली सेड, idea should be sustainability, but you should be flexible enough to change your designs and approach.
It's about the intent.
It's about the intent, yeah.
And that takes me to the obvious question. I know हम लोग करीबन 30-40 किलोमीटर दूर है इस प्रोटेस्ट साइट में, जहाँ पे सोनाम वांगचू अभी आज भी हंगर स्ट्राइक में है. क्या कहेंगे लोगों को? क्या वो अपने लिए कर रहे हैं कि लोगों के लिए कर रहे हैं, सिर्फ लद्दाख के लिए कर रहे हैं या फिर देश के लिए कर रहे हैं?
मेरे हिसाब से तो दुनिया के लिए कर रहे हैं, अगर मैं सही बताऊं. जैसे सोनम सर ने भी ये बात कई बार बोली होगी, लेकिन लद्दाख जिसको हम थर्ड पोल भी बोलते हैं, द बिगेस्ट फ्रेश वाटर रिजर्वायर आउटसाइड नॉर्थ एंड साउथ पोल एक्चुअली, which supplies water directly and indirectly to more than 2 billion people. अगर ये केवल इस गांव के लिए होता या लद्दाख के लिए होता या इंडिया के लिए होता, तो इतने बड़े पैमाने, इतने बड़े स्केल पे क्यों करते हैं? जब मैं 2 बिलियन लोगों की बात करता हूँ, दे आर नॉट ओनली इन इंडिया. These 2 billion people are in China, in Mongolia, Kyrgyzstan, Pakistan. It's a big chunk of world population. It's a big chunk of how the entire climate system, global systems are attached to it. And if we are to think that Himalaya is an isolated global system and impacts on Himalaya will not have any impact to any other global system, we are absolutely wrong.
You're stupid to think that. I'm sorry to use that word.
We are negligent if we think that. So this is not only happening for Ladakh. This is happening for humanity on a bigger scale. Because as humans, we are very short-sighted. I may think only about myself, my next generation, maybe the generation after that. But we on human time scale, with respect to Earth time scale, are very short, minusculous, this much. We have to think beyond. We have to go beyond and find solutions and apply it in such a way that they outlive us, they outlive generations to come, so that everybody can get an equitable part of this world, which they deserve and which is their proper right. ड्राई लद्दाखी टॉयलेट आपने लद्दाख में हर जगह देखे होंगे. दिस इज ऑल्सो ड्राई लद्दाखी टॉयलेट. पीपल ऑफन से दैट ड्राई लद्दाखी टॉयलेट कांट बी वेस्टर्न स्टाइल. This is exactly Western style with a urine separator. We have soil there that you put after you do your business. And this all goes down here. There's a container and then you decompose it and then you directly take it to use it on your fields.
It saves water.
Yeah, absolutely. And saves water, gives, there is something called nutrition cycle. You eat something, you excrete that. What happens in cities? You excrete it, it goes to a flush toilet, flush down to your sewer system, clean it out, goes into the river or something. The cycle is incomplete. Here, you eat something, you take it out, it decomposes, then after a year you take it into your fields, you grow food from it, you eat the same food again, and a complete nutrient cycle is established how it was for generations and millennia and I don't know how many thousands of years.
If you want to laugh, you can, but it's this simple. और आप एकदम comfortably आप बैठ जाओगे spot पे, like you would sit on a regular pot. You do your business, but the fun part is when you're peeing, the pee gets segregated automatically because there is a barrier down in there, and the fluid goes on a different channel, and then there is another channel where the dump goes. And after you're done with your business, all that you have to do is take some soil from here like this, take some soil from here like this, or like this, ऐसे उठाओ, and put it on the dump. That's it. And उसके बाद you can clean yourself, get down, and feel absolutely normal, like you would do at your homes, hotels, resorts, motels, and everywhere.
So we are at a project called agrivoltaics. So you must have heard that Ladakh में लोग solar energy बहुत generate करता है या green house होता है जिसमें चीज़ें उगती है. Here we have combined both the ideas. On your left hand side, the southern facade, you see we have semi-transparent solar panels. And these solar panels, half of them generate electricity, but the remaining half let the sunlight come in. In the Changthang region, where government is planning hundreds of square kilometers of solar park. Now you will generate electricity out of it, no doubt, that's true. But you are raising off the livelihood, the land for the animals of Changthang region, the Pashmina goats, the yaks, the people who are nomads. It is their pasture land. We are trying to do an experiment here is to create an area where you can generate the electricity and grow fodder. So this is what we are trying to propose as well, that rather than having just a solar park, create something like this that can give food for the hundreds and thousands of dying animals. Animal every year in Changthang region die because there is non-availability of food, non-availability of fodder.
और ये सारे पश्मीना गोट भी है.
Major are Pashmina goats.
पश्मीना गोट.
Yeah.
और ये पश्मीना गोट पे जिंदगी निर्भर कर रहा है बहुत लोगों की. जो पश्मीना वूल से शॉल बना रहे.
I mean, starting from the nomads who take care of these animals.
Yes.
Taking care of these animals in particularly today's scenario when the geopolitical tension, the climate tension, the intra-government tension is so much. These people are losing their livelihoods. These people are losing the things that they have been doing for thousands of years. Like their generations and generations before them. And now, since there is no land to graze, there is no water to drink, there is toughness, strictness on border issues, they can't do anything else rather than selling their animals and coming to cities and be like daily wage laborers or workers.
Migrate to bigger cities.
Migrate. So this is our little effort in
But can
order
this
to
be replicated there where the solar power plant is coming up or is being proposed?
Yes, very much.
It is doable.
Something like this is absolutely doable.
ये चीज़ समझना थोड़ा इम्पोर्टेंट था क्योंकि सोनम वांगचू जो हंगर स्ट्राइक में है वो बार बार ये कहा कि उनकी लद्दाख की ज़मीन लिया जा रहा है और ज़मीन पे आज ये प्लांट कल वो प्लांट माइनिंग इंडस्ट्रियलिस्ट कॉर्पोरेट्स को दिया जा रहा है. आरोप है बहुत सारे और उनका कहना इतनी सी है कि यू आर इंटरफेयरिंग इनटू अ लाइफ हैबिटेशन एंड हैबिटेट ऑफ द इंडिजिनस पीपल, the tribal people, And like I always say, I'm nobody to say that this is right or that is right, this is wrong or that is wrong. I don't want to prejudice you, I don't want to bias your ideas. No. At the end of the day, the government would decide. At the end of the day, the people of the country would decide as what should be the future of Ladakh. I'm just trying to uphold certain stories which have not been told for way too long. Along with Hussain, an independent journalist, and Nishan, thank you so much for your
My
valuable
pleasure.
time. Thank
My
you so much
pleasure.
for your valuable time. It was such a pleasure talking to you, and trust me, I envy.
Don't, please.
I do. You've just chosen a life for yourself, which is, I don't know if it's better or not so better, but I know it's way too different from the life that I'm living. Only when you come closer to nature, you feel the nature.
Right.
And more you stay away from nature, you know you're far away from the nature. So, along with Nishan, along with Hussain, in Ladakh, this is Tamal Saha for News the Truth, NTT.